Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of GDQ HOTFIX. Before we jump right into everybody's supersonic racing, we will talk for just a moment. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support, for being here. HOTFIX is funded in part thanks to your bits and subscriptions, so please consider subscribing to support broadcasts like these. And don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch account to subscribe for free. So we're jumping right back into Sonic and the Shiny Things Marathon, and I'll kick it over to Amber.
Hi, my name is Amber Cyprin. I'm the organizer of Sonic and the Shiny Things, the event you've been watching over the last couple of days, if you've been here all weekend, kind of like Oth and I have been. But this marathon is dedicated to mostly 100% runs or all Emerald runs. If there's a shiny thing in this run, we want to collect it, or means of getting good endings like, Sonic CD All Good Futures by destroying robot generators. But we've been here for the last...
Too many hours.
Day and a half, yeah, something like that. 28 hours, but we've got not 20. Yeah, too many hours. I said 28. It's not been that long.
Like 18 at this point.
Yeah. So, I will be commentating for this run. I don't run this category, but I do run any percent and 100% no out of bounds. But this run is much more interesting, I promise you. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to Nimputs. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Nimputs. I'm gonna be running Sonic R for you. As Amber already said, this is gonna be out of bounds, 100%. This is Sonic R. This originally came out on Sega Saturn. However, this is the GameCube version, as part of the Sonic Gems collection. The best version in my opinion, but I'm just gonna pick Knuckles here. This is another one of those runs, this marathon that's primarily carried by Knuckles, so...
Only kid is cheering right now.
Yeah, I'm glad. Anyways, I'll start on this track in 3, 2, 1, go. So, now that we start, Amber, how about you explain the shiny things in this game?
Absolutely. So like I said, this marathon is Sonic and the Shiny Things, so we're going to be collecting a number of shiny things. There are, in every race, there are 5 Sonic face tokens and a grand total of 8 emeralds to collect throughout the multiple courses of this run.
7.
But, 7? Or is it 7?
Regal Island only has 1.
You're right. I thought it was 8. I was thinking Sonic the Fighters where there's like suddenly 8 emeralds or something. Anyways, there are 7 emeralds in this game. You collect either 1 or 2 in every stage. In this case, you collect 2. The 5 tokens that you see Nimputs collecting are for if you finish a race within the top 3 positions, you unlock a extra race, immediately after where you you race another character. Yes, you fight them IRL on the racetrack. And it's usually like metallic versions of other characters. You have Metal Sonic, Tails Doll, Metal Knuckles, who will be using 2 out of those 3. And then there's also Egg Robo, who, he exists. He tries his best.
Beautiful. Yeah, I've pretty much collected everything here. I just got the 2 emeralds. And now I'm going up here to pick the last coin, which is in this 20 ring doors. So you need a lot of rings to collect a lot of things because they're behind these doors. And now I have 1 lap left, but I'm not gonna bother doing it the intended way. Instead, I'm gonna squeeze myself into this corner and of course do the wrong thing. Yeah, this is unlucky. I hope it works now.
I mean, we're gonna work it out because it is Reactive Factory.
Yep. So this is out of bounds. I'm next to the finish line now. I hit the finish line, basically immediately turned around back behind it, and that counted as a lap. So
yep.
Yeah, this is a challenge race, and now I don't have to collect stuff anymore, so I'll just do that immediately. So back to this corner right here.
It's also important to note that these wiggle clips, so to speak, where you wiggle back and forth while drifting with Knuckles, these wiggle clips only really work on the GameCube version. We think they work on Saturn. Neither of us have tried them, and Nim does not
They work
have
on
a Saturn.
PS2 as well.
Oh, they work on PS2 as well. Okay,
Yeah.
So they work on the Gems Collection version of the game, and they don't work on the PC version, unfortunately. But I believe the
PC has other ways to
Yeah, the individual levels, the clips are usually done with Amy Rose, but those are, you know, individual laps and everything. So
Yeah, you can
if you're not
clip with
trying to collect
Amy
things.
on PC the same as you do on GameCube, as far as I know. But yeah, Amy is like slow for everything else, so we're not using her here. Anyways, I just switched over to another version of Knuckles, Metal Knuckles. It's really good for this. So most people run this game in bounds, and you can actually change the weather in the game settings to snow, so all the water freezes and you can run over it. But we don't do that in this run, because if you change the weather to snow, the clips don't work anymore for whatever reason. So we have to find a way to deal with the water the best. And the best way to do that is by using one of the two metal characters. And in this case, I use Metal Knuckles. That's also the reason I start this run by doing Reactive Factory, because that's what unlocks me Metal Knuckles. So yeah, Metal Sonic can also do the water jumping that you do here, but Metal Sonic actually can't do the corner clips, so I'm going for Metal Knuckles here. And Metal Knuckles is, I think, a tad faster as well. I'm not sure. I tend to get better lap times with Metal Knuckles, but they're very even either way.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Incidentally, it's also worth noting that the Sega Saturn version of the game, you cannot change the weather. The weather is randomized in that version of the game, and there's no setting to turn it off or set it to snow. So you kind of have to hope for the best. And, you know, not do it.
Whoa!
Oh man, that was a
That
fast
was
clip.
about the fastest I've ever seen that clip work.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
wow.
That is bonkers.
That would be like gold split if I had splits on.
So you might ask, why didn't we start with this level? To answer that really quickly, Nim prefers to do Reactive Factory first, partially to unlock Metal Knuckles sooner, and also because the ring routes to be able to collect the coins and the emeralds are much more RNG based on your pickups from the like item pickups you can get, like that can yield shields, speed shoes, etc. And also it can be a little tighter. So it's when you're doing multiple attempts, you want to just get the reset heavy point out of the way.
Yeah, Reactive Factory to do the fastest route, so like to get everything within the first 2 laps, you really need really good ring RNG from the emblem pickups. So it's a tad inconsistent to get the fastest route there. But this track is really consistent, luckily, so we're definitely gonna see a clip on lap 3 here. But until we get there, I might talk a bit about the movement. So you see me like bump into walls a lot, and that is not because I'm bad, or not entirely because I'm bad at least. Most of the time it's because I'm trying to get into drifts, and drifts give you more speed. So a lot of times bumping into a wall is just a good way to set yourself up for a drift. And there's also a technique called counter drifting, which I do a little bit. So basically there's 2 drift buttons, the left and the right trigger on the GameCube controller. And if you press the opposite one to the direction, whoops, that was wrong. The opposite one to the direction you're facing, you can get into a counter drift, which gives you more speed than the regular drift, but it's a bit harder to use. So you can't use it everywhere. Anyways, here we're coming up to the clip on this track. That was also really fast. Wow, this run is actually good.
This run is nuts.
I had some bad luck on the first track, so this is like not gonna be world record or anything, but this is really good.
Yeah, you actually recently pushed this category to sub 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Very, very recently, like earlier this week.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. That run was wild.
Yeah, that was a roller coaster of a run. If you don't follow Nimputs on Twitch, you should. If you don't follow him, if you don't like subscribe to, oh my goodness. If you don't like look at his YouTube, you should.
Thank you. Yeah, with my surprised reactions, you can probably tell these clips are very inconsistent. So like you wiggle in the corner and you just kind of hope for the best. If you get really lucky like I do right now, they go super fast. But if you get unlucky, they can take like a minute plus. Anyways, Knuckles is unfortunately over for now. I'm sorry. But we're switching to Regal Ruin. Regal Ruin is in this category, I think, like the most comfy stage, actually.
This is my favorite song.
My favorite song is Reactive Factory, which is
That's probably my
convenient because
second.
that's the first track of the run, so that's the one I always reset, and I get to hear it a lot. But yeah, as I've said earlier that Metal Sonic can't do the corner clips. But there's gonna be a different way I get out of bounds, which we'll see in the challenge race. But for now, I'll just go around the track here and collect rings. The ring requirement here is pretty easy to get, but it's still, you still want to get as many rings as you can, if you can get them without losing time, because the more rings you have, the faster your character actually moves. So if you can get rings without like going out of your way for them, it's always good to pick them up.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of similar to Sonic Advance 2 and 3, where more rings equals more speed.
Yeah. Also, I just went through this weird pyramid, so the emeralds on the stage are hidden in these pyramids, and you're supposed to go through the gate in front of them, and then the pyramids open up, but the moment you go through the gate, the pyramids lose all collision, so you don't have to wait for them to open, and you can just run straight through them.
Yeah, you just want to make sure you listen for the emerald to be picked up. Otherwise, you could just kind of like miss it. And
I don't have audio on my end, so I just hope I got them, but I'm gonna assume. Anyways, this is like the hardest trick of the run, also the only one that's actually consistent, so let's see how this goes. First try, nice.
Sick.
So this is the out of bounds method on this track. Basically, I just have to like position myself correctly and then do a short hop through the bank turn, and that'll clip me through. And now I'm setting myself up in this pillar, which is an invisible wall next to the finish line, and do my circles here. This part here is actually the reason why I do this track with Metal Sonic as opposed to Metal Knuckles, because Metal Knuckles has a worse turning radius, and it gets way worse underwater, so you lose like 5 to 10 seconds doing this with Metal Knuckles. But yeah, anyways, we're already coming up to the last race here. And it's also the
shiniest hedgehog.
The shiniest hedgehog, indeed. But yeah, this is the only track where there's like no reliable way to skip anything. But if we get really lucky, maybe we can see an unreliable way. So I'm trying to slide into this wall at the start here. And if I move with high speed into a wall, sometimes if you get lucky or unlucky, depending on the situation, the game clips you out of bounds. And if that's the case on this track, you can skip half a lap. You unfortunately can't loop the finish line like you do on the other tracks, because you can't reach the finish line from out of bounds in this track. So you only get like half of one lap skip each time you get it. Amber mentioned the world record I got recently, the sub 12. I actually got 2 out of bounds clips on this track, on that run, which is absolutely wild, because these clips are like, if you play the stage a lot, you're gonna come across them every once in a while. So like, if you play this game a lot, you're gonna know what I'm talking about, and you've run into them. But getting one of these clips when you actually meet them is extremely rare. And around the beginning of the year, I grinded out an IL for this track, and I was attempting to be the first one to ever get a clip on all 3 laps. And do you know how long it took me to grind this out? A total of 96 hours of
Oh my
attempts. I did it over the course of a couple of weeks, so I didn't like lock myself in my room for like 3 days straight. But like it did take a while. It was a grind. But yeah, we don't get a clip here, unfortunately.
That's
okay.
Yeah, I just music.
That's good. I'm just telling this anecdote to illustrate how rare these clips are. Anyways, we're coming up on time here, and that's time.
That's a 12:26.
Wow,
that's 12:25 actually, but yeah.
That's an incredible time. That's the best I've ever done this in a marathon by like 25 seconds. That's incredible.
Yeah, this category is getting really optimized too.
I was really lucky during this run, so but I also didn't make any major mistakes, which is nice. But yeah, that was mostly incredible luck here. But yeah, very happy with this time. And also, sub 13 minutes means this was the shortest run of this marathon. I had a tough time to beat with Hypnotic's 13 minutes Sega Sonic the Hedgehog run earlier, but the game was on my side, so I could do it.
Yeah, those were all really quick out of bounds. That was really awesome.
Yeah, that was incredible, honestly.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you.
Sonic R is always a good time. It's a very short run. It's also a pretty good first speed game, I think. If you enjoy racing games and you like this game, it's short enough to honestly pick up. I picked it up just to have something to give me a break from 3D Blast. Mind you, it's another Traveler's Tale Sonic game, so
Yeah,
you're still made of rubber.
This is a really good beginner speedrun to pick up, especially the any percent no out of bounds category. Super easy to get a first run done.
Oh,
And
yeah.
really enjoyable to just like continuously improve yourself because it's basically all movement based. So you just automatically get better if you keep playing it. There's also really good resources on it. Pete Dorr,
Just
a
recently
top
made
runner.
it. Yeah. Pete Dorr has tutorial.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't
really-
make the word tutorial come out of my mouth right.
it's fine. He has like a full run tutorial for any percent out of bounds, and I made like a quick impromptu tutorial for the out of bounds lately. So if you're at all interested in this game, please give it a shot. It's great. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for me. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for submitting and like thank you for running. It was a good time to just kind of sit in and talk about Sonic R in general. I think it's a great speed game, honestly.
Yeah, I love this game. It's fantastic.
Yeah, like I remember when you first picked it up, like, or you maybe picked it up like beforehand, but like you were like learning some stuff, and I remember like how hard like some of your first runs were for you, and like you've
Yeah.
grown as a runner so much for this game. So like
Thank
I'm both impressed and like just like really proud of you, dude.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, we're gonna throw it back over to Author Blue so we can get ready for the next run. It's Sonic Advance 3 with Just Fruit Salad and Kirby Master on commentary.
You said it all. That's it. We're taking a break. See you guys soon.